Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the Inspired podcast. Back at it again with Josh doing vigorous jazz hands and Ashton styling new hairdo. It's been a couple weeks since we did this. I think a lot of things have happened. Dave's dead now, so he's no longer on the show. We don't know what it was, if it was cancer, if it was the suicide, but either way, he's...
He tried to
absorb bullet.
He tried to absorb too many good hipster vibes all at once, and he just
exploded. It killed him. It microwaved him. All those hipster vibes.
Exploded. Daisies and.
I feel like he just truly now became one with nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he disintegrated into it.
What he wanted.
Yeah, that's what he wanted. What he wanted.
So long, Dave. Maybe by the time we have the next episode, they'll figure out how to have resuscitated him from the earth. But might be just.
Then.
Further on in the future.
Till then, we'll have a good podcast.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess we haven't talked about the Bleach trip at all, but I feel like you guys have heard enough of that already, so there's probably not much to
That's
say
up to you. We have viewers that might want to hear about it.
Bleach trip.
Let's
talk about that.
You know, we did some crazy shit. Shit happened. Shit went down. Still alive. So, yeah.
So that's a win.
Really, all in all, it was a win. You know, even though I feel like dying would have been a win too, because it's not a bad place to go. But so
it's like a badass story for generations.
Badass stories. It's great time. Great time. Love to see the culture. I would love to go back, but don't know if I will, because there's lots of other places to go to as well.
Yeah, more than one spot in the world.
But
let's see it up.
I was wondering, what are some like semi-illegal ways to make like good money that we got? Like,
tell people to invest in your business. So you have a great business opportunity. Take some money from people, take a bunch of money from other people, and have one person lose everything. Have another person only get his money back, and have another person maybe get a little bit of a reward, but then you keep everything else. You just keep on doing that, like taking investment.
Just go with a full-on Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, Ponzi scheme.
So convince
or
people.
Like
Ashton, you know how a Ponzi scheme works, right?
Not quite.
Okay, so like you convince a first round of investors that you got a really good investment, and it pays really good returns, and yada yada yada, and then you convince a second round that you got a good investment, it pays good returns, and then you pay out the first round of people with the second round of people, and then the second round of people is obviously more money and bigger than the first round, and then you just keep going up. So everyone's getting money back and thinking they're making a lot of money, and then,
really the money's just.
But it's just siphoning down, and then you get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until at the end you just take off with all the money. But yeah, it's very, 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 very illegal. I meant like something that I guess you could have a chance of getting away with, but maybe it doesn't even have to be illegal. Maybe just a little greasy.
Yeah, I'm sure there'd be
a little greasy. You know what I want to see? I want to see if I could shit in a jar and then sell it on Amazon. How much money I can make on that, or eBay. Just literally sell shit in a jar. Yeah, someone would buy it. So try and sell for like $300. See if someone buys it. Start a bidding war. Call it art. Fucking call it art.
Yeah.
No shit. But then like put it in like gold paint to symbolize how material things are just shit, and this gold is shit, and that's why you're gonna pay $30,000 for this gold shit in a jar. Not even real gold, just gold color shit in a jar.
So you're gonna eat glitter beforehand.
I could eat glitter too, I guess. Like if it's worth it, $30,000. Yeah.
But they can at least find gold.
But I was just saying, shitting in a jar that had like some gold colored paint in it or something like some shit. Or maybe just.
I think eating glitter would be the way to go here.
Do they have edible glitter? Does somebody know?
Oh, I think all glitter is edible if you make your mind.
As long as it makes it out of your system.
It'd be fun.
You want it to stay.
I wonder if you could do like the cinnamon challenge, but with glitter. Yeah, cinnamon challenge, but with glitter. See if that works.
You totally could.
It's gold.
I still think I might try that. Just shit in the jar and see if I could sell it on eBay or Amazon with gold around it. See how much money I can make.
What if you're getting shit for trying to sell shit? on
That's like
Amazon.
that's an oxymoron. I'm getting in shit, selling shit. No, 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 no. I'm trying to get rid of the shit, so I'm no longer in shit. Hence why I'm selling the shit. So you can't get me in shit for trying to get out of shit. It's not okay.
Okay, good point.
Yeah, I'm
Makes
gonna
sense.
sell my shit on Amazon for $30,000.
I mean, there was this one guy that actually started this thing called Pet Rock. You guys ever hear about that? He literally just took rocks and put them in a cardboard box and had an instruction sheet on how to raise your pet rock. And the guy made like so much money off of it. You could buy them in stores and everything. Just rock in a box. Stupid, man. Kids would go be like, I want.
It's just the level of ridiculous that people like, you know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, exactly.
And that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
I remember back in the day they had those shit. I don't remember what they're called, but it was like a pet you could buy, or not a pet, but like a stuffed animal you could buy, and then you could go on like online because you got like an online ticket with it when you bought it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you could go take care of it online, and then add a little house
called
for
it-
it, and
Man, I totally know exactly what you're talking
because
about.
I remember like there's a bunch of people that were super into that when I was younger.
Oh, dude, it's at the tip of my tongue too.
I do not know.
Oh man, it's right there.
Webkins?
Webkins.
Yeah,
Is that it?
yeah.
Webkins.
90s stuff.
No, this was probably early mid 2000s, maybe even late 2000s.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, it was.
I remember.
I had like these little things, and then they had these little stuffed animals, and then they had a little code on the bottom, and you could put them online and then take care of them and buy
And then take care of
stuff
'em.
for 'em, and yeah,
It's weird. It's actually like a kind of just promoting your online game, but making money off of it from selling a product with it.
Yeah,
But actually, I don't
that's how
think.
Well, it makes sense. Like no one gave a shit about the stuffed animals.
Yeah, because I don't think they did anything. I think they were just there.
Yeah, yeah. All you do is buy them and take a code off of them.
Mhm.
It's not a bad idea. That was pretty interesting. Anyway, I just thought of a subject. What are your family's Christmas traditions? It's that time of the season.
All right,
Try and get out of doing anything. Yeah, we stay in the house as best we can. It's always a bit of like either excitement or a little bit of frustration when we have to leave the house on Christmas Day. For our family, like my dad's just one of the people like, this is Christmas. I just want to be our family here. And then if we have to go see distant relatives, there's always a bit of a.
Yeah.
Because
We actually-
well, the thing is with my family though is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 birthdays all within like December, end of November, and so we see them for like basically every week in December to celebrate these couple birthdays, and then it's Christmas too. It's just like, can't we just roll this all into one day? Which I think we're doing that this year, so that's nice.
Nice.
So all my family's doing, we're gonna wake up. Usually, I go home for Christmas Eve. We wake up around 5:30, 6 a.m. And then I get up, make coffee, and we start opening presents. And then my grandma and grandpa come over for a brunch, breakfast kind of thing. And then we don't eat any food except till dinner at like 3:34,
Yeah,
and we have a nice big.
Oh,
that's cool that you do something with your grandpa and grandma as well.
we used to have this tradition. I was back in the day because I'm from a pretty well, I have a Mennonite background, so we used to always do this thing. It was called. It was like passed down for generations. It was called Kamupstellen, which is German for setting like a bowl on a table, which is literally what you did before we would go to bed. Me and my brothers would set this bowl. Each had our own bowl, and we would set it on the table, and like then we would go to bed. And in the morning, our parents would have put presents in the bowl, and then just threw a whole big tarp over the entire table. So each of our gifts were in our bowl or whatever. And then in the morning, we would take off the tarp and open our presents, and it was kind of just a big shit show because everyone would open presents, and it would just be like boom, and it's all done. And then so when we moved out here, we're like, let's change that. Let's try something else. So we started just sitting around in the living room, we kind of guess who's like which present is ours. If we guess it right, we get to open it. We kind of take turns. Makes it more of an enjoyable process, not just
Yeah.
one quick
That's,
thing.
so I guess the bowls are kind of just like stockings then.
Yeah, they were kind of like stockings. That was just the more of the Mennonite style tradition. But we still do that. We still set up the bowl, but they'll just throw like a candy in there, like a chocolate orange or something like that.
Yeah, my family used to have lots of winter traditions, I guess, but now that I don't live at a home and then everyone's getting older, I don't think we have as many of them. But I remember every time there'd be the first snow, we'd do like caramel. We'd take like fresh snow from outside and then like pour hot caramel all over it and then eat it off the snow. That was always really cool. And then we never did a Christmas tree. My dad always hated Christmas trees. Like, no, there's no way I'm having one of those in my house.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Well, we had lots of like greenery, I guess, and then like lights and stuff everywhere, but never Christmas trees. And then it used to be that we kind of just gave everyone gifts, and then your parents obviously give the most gifts when you're younger. But as we grow up, we've done a couple years. We've done like picking names and stuff where you pick it all beforehand and then you buy it. Or gift for the person you get the name of, and then we've also, like last year we did a white elephant, so you just buy a gift and then rock that. But I don't know, I just feel like as you get older a lot of the traditions and stuff aren't as much fun, but like it's still good. Like we always do appetizers on Christmas Eve, so like we just have a meal of just appetizers and it's usually amazing, but you always feel like shit afterwards because it's just so much. Like I mean like 16, 17 different kinds of appetizers. Like, I mean like deviled eggs, chicken wings, like
oh man,
we do that on Boxing
like dry ribs, like just everything in the book.
Punch.
And just chow down. And then we'd usually hang out, maybe watch a movie or something Christmas Eve. Like the only movie we'd watch with the family all year, like ever, would be on Christmas Eve. And then Christmas morning, sleep in, kind of have brunch, and then we'd do the gifts kind of like 11, 12 in the morning type of thing. And and then
you guys
Christmas Day we'd usually have a dinner, and then we'd usually invite other people over just randomly, like every year. Like a lot of times we'll have people that like aren't a part of our family or are in Lethbridge and don't have any of their family around or whatever. So we've done that lots. But yeah, way back in the day we used to have like both our family reunions in the season. So like one of them was right in between Christmas and New Year's, and then one of them was on New Year's Day. So you're always going to that shit. But now they canceled the one, and now they do the other one in the summer. So it's kind of nicer anyway. You don't have to worry about it. Like New Year's Day was a frickin' joke anyway. Like who the heck wants to go to a family? I missed like the last 4 years or something.
Have you guys ever seen that movie Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase? It's the older one. It's by, what's it called again? I forget what the name of the movie producers were. But you know like the vacation movies, right? Like they have Vegas Vacation, Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, they're older
Chevy
movies,
Chase.
right?
Yeah, they are. There are older movies.
I
I
haven't
don't
like
think I've ever
watched all of
seen
them.
The Christmas Vacation one used to be a family tradition. Like every year, as long as I can remember, we would watch that movie. And it kind of just became like a thing during the Christmas season. We would always be like using punchlines from the movie and stuff like that. We did that for years.
We would always
watch family.
We would always watch Davy Crockett or Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
That was that every year. We never really watched any Christmas movies that I can think of.
Yeah,
maybe like
same.
Home Alone once, but like
No, even then. Like maybe like the really old like cartoon ones, like How the Grinch Stole Christmas or anything like that. Maybe some of those like I don't know claymation with like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, or something like that. Maybe we watch those like really kid ones, or we like watch a brand new movie or something like that just came out. Download it and watch it or whatever.
yeah, my Christmas movie the past couple years has been The Night Before Christmas. Have you seen?
I've never even seen it.
It's
No, is it
fucking
good?
hilarious. It's a comedy. It's with like I think it's Seth Rogen, James Franco.
Oh yeah.
They just go on like a bender and like Yeah, Seth
I don't see
Rogen's
it.
all effed up on drugs, and he's going to like the Catholic church when he's like tripping on acid or something. It's just freaking hilarious. So I usually watch that one every Christmas season just because it's nice. Other than that, I actually kind of like Elf. I think that movie's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, that one's great. I love
Yeah.
Will Ferrell, the big side character. I think that's one of the first movies I've ever seen Will Ferrell in, actually, too.
Yeah.
Elf. Yeah,
Yeah?
that's got to be the first one I've ever seen him in.
Actually, maybe for me too. I'm not sure.
I feel
Not
like
sure.
'Cause it was kind of a
Step-
kid's show, too,
Step
eh?
Brothers
Not a
or
kid's show.
something.
It might have been Step Brothers, but I don't think it was. I think it was Elf.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I hadn't seen Elf until like last year, so I wouldn't know. But no, we watched The Grinch That Stole Christmas last year, and then half my family was all pissed that we were watching it, and it's just like whatever. I thought it was hilarious.
Like the green one, like
Yeah.
the real person one, Jim Carrey. Why is that? Is it weird that my mom did not want us watching that movie for some reason?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Like they didn't like my parents didn't like it, my older sisters didn't like it, and everything. I was just like,
What's
whatever.
wrong with it?
Why?
It's clean and everything. It's like he's a little bit of an angry
Mhm.
guy, but I thought it was funny. Like I thought it was.
It is a kid's show.
I thought it was
isn't
something that like kids and adults could laugh at. So there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Well, the thing is, like, my parents were just weird when they were strict. They had weird rules on strictness. Like, I wasn't allowed to watch How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but I was allowed to watch Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I was allowed to watch Lord of the Rings, but I wasn't allowed to watch Star Wars at one point. Like, it was really weird back and
Yeah.
forth how they were doing.
Yeah, I
Like, at
never
the-
understood that either. Like I remember way back in the day, not so much me, but a lot of my older cousins and stuff were into RuneScape. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but it's basically like a multiplayer online game where you kind of like you just have a character and you mine stuff and you build up, and then it had a little bit of like I guess enchanting and like spells and stuff in there. Anyway, like parents found out we were playing that and got all mad and made them stop and repent and yada 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 for some
All the
game.
fun
And
stuff.
It's just like, oh no. I always for some reason missed all that. Like it was like everyone older than me got in shit, but I just kept doing what I did.
Yeah.
It's like whatever. But no, that's
Actually, here's the. Do you guys know that one actress? There's a little scene with that one girl when they were going up into the mountains for the first time. The first time you really see the Grinch. You remember that one girl that was in there? She is actually the singer from The Pretty Reckless.
really?
Yeah,
Really?
Mm.
yeah.
That's
the one,
cool.
the one of the teenagers, one of the teenage girls. Yeah, the blonde one, I think it was.
Huh. That's kind of
Yeah,
neat. That's a good
The
band.
more you know.
yeah. It's a fun fact for the day.
Wholesome music.
Yeah.
Wholesome music coming out of that band. Wholesome
Yeah.
music.
Oh yeah.
Kids, if
Beautiful.
you want some wholesome music, just listen to The Pretty Reckless.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Your parents will love it.
Your parents might think you're pretty reckless, but I mean, Dave's not here. Someone has to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
In
know, I was
honor
just
of
working
in
your
honor of
sarcasm.
Dave, we got to do some dirty puns
Yeah.
now that he's no longer with us. But
In body.
do you guys like Christmas time though?
I like Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of find myself getting into the spirit of Christmas as it gets closer to Christmas, though. I do get that. Like, when the Christmas music's playing and it's kind of snowing outside,
Mm-hmm.
I'll drink a cup of hot chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. It always sucks. Like I feel like we always get shafted here because it'll be like 10 degrees always on Christmas Day. Like the wind
Yeah,
will be
but in November
blowing,
we get a
and
snowstorm.
there's no snow, and it's like, come on, just one day of the week I wouldn't mind. Oh, last year we had a
Yeah.
shit ton though because I
Yeah.
was working.
yeah.
I had to work on Christmas Day for like hours. I was doing snow removal. That sucked.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like, up north, like, we've had snow for months already and it would have never left.
Yeah.
Actually, Grand Prairie has had a shit ton of snow. They haven't lost any yet. Neither has the Crete. They have lots of snow.
Yeah.
It's always white Christmases up there.
Yeah, no, here, I mean, we get a bit of snow, but it never sticks around that long. Like,
Yeah, because we have the Chinook.
Yeah.
But
What
like,
bothers me is we always get a snowstorm in November though, and then it's a brown Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you notice too. Like if it's ever warm this time of the year, it's blowing all the time. Like it just does not stop, and it's kind of like, well, I don't mind the warmth, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind the cold if it wasn't so damn windy all the time. Like,
Yep.
I'd pick a little bit colder with less wind than shit ton of wind. I hate wind.
It shit is now.
but yeah, with Christmas, I think I'm starting to get into it a little bit more this year. Like, past couple years, it's been hard because it's just kind of a disappointment. I don't know, it's just like, eh. But I guess it's what you make it, right? Like, it's really no different than any other time of the year unless you make it different.
Your guys' parents still ask you what you want for Christmas?
No.
My parents stopped asking me because
They don't buy me anything.
Well, I just tell them the same shit every year. Clothes, I guess.
Yeah.
Like anything fun, I've already bought. Anything useful in my life, I don't buy.
Exactly. I always just tell them.
That's just how my mind works. That's fun. I'm gonna buy that.
Yeah.
Christmas comes around. I actually haven't bought anything that would be useful in my day-to-day life. Could you buy me something like that?
Yeah.
I always ask
exactly.
for like something unique. That's all I ask for. It's like something weird, random. If you buy me a shirt, it better be a cool shirt. Better not be a basic black, white, boring ass short shirt. If it's a boring shirt, I don't want it. You realize I'm gonna wear it whenever I like go jump in a pile of mud or something.
I kind of love and hate getting clothes for Christmas. Like, it's nice because like, I didn't have to go buy them, but at the same time, it's kind of like, clothes. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
I got this jacket.
Like, I always want to do one Christmas
Really?
where it's just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Imagine I was like 15 or 14 years old and buy me that shit. So don't buy me clothes, don't buy me nothing responsible. Buy me fucking toys Toys R Us, shit like that.
I want a remote
a
control
Lego
car.
set.
I want a Lego set.
Like I never got into Lego.
No?
No, I never got into it.
So
I
I
got
grew up
often-
homeschooled and without a TV, so yeah, we did a lot of Lego.
Well,
Lego.
we had
Same.
my problem with Lego is I had an older brother and a younger brother who liked following the rules and how to build the stuff and
they wouldn't
want
switch
to
it
build a
up.
proper town and whatever. I wanted to switch it up.
Yeah.
They wanted to go bigger and grander and more. I guess. Like they made some really cool cars out of scratch or whatever and stuff like that. All I was doing is like making toy handguns
Yeah.
and making them or making
Well,
them.
we
Lego
actually
store,
made like
making it.
entire cities with like my brother and my
Oh,
cousin, and then we had all these like, you know, those little maybe Ashton would know, but there's those little irrigation caps, like little nozzles. So for the older style heads, like the PGP style, or like, you know, that acreage we were doing that one time. They
Yeah.
have all those little plastic nozzles that you put in. Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? They come on strips, and there's like 6 on each side on a strip with like a plastic rib down the middle.
Okay, no, I'm not sure.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter, but they come with all these tiny little plastic like discs attached to the side. I don't know why, but we would pull them off and pretend that they were coins, and we had like a whole economy going. And we would cut food shapes out of newspapers and then like glue them to like popsicle sticks on the background, so we had all food that we'd buy and switch and trade, and we had like an insane like we did crazy shit. Like the imagination we had was just nuts.
That's awesome.
You just do everything with your imagination because you kind of had to, otherwise you're just playing with
Yeah.
Lego and it's boring AF. So.
Yeah, it's just a brick.
Yeah,
But that's
here's a
not
brick.
exactly-
Stick it on another brick. More down plastic
Yeah.
bricks.
Sticking in another brick.
But
No, I never got into it.
Yeah.
Like I was always like my mom has 2 pictures of me as a kid. It was either I was running around playing sports or I was napping. That's like apparently all I did was play, and then I'd go and have a nap. She never had to put me down for a nap once when I was a
That's
kid
not
because
a
I
bad
always
way.
would play I would play hard for like an hour or 2 and then just fall asleep.
That's not a
Like
bad
she
way
has
to
picture-
go.
Yeah. So me sitting still, I just fall asleep anyways. So
I always
I'd take
remember,
Legos
like,
to work.
The warm fuzzy feeling I get. Like I remember I'd be so excited when we had people over at night, and then my mom would tell me to go have a nap, and I couldn't sleep, but she'd like make me stay in there, so I'd just sit there like all excited for like 2
Yeah.
hours, and then finally come out and say, yes, finally I get to see somebody other than my brother.
Yeah,
Yay! Oh, yeah.
totally. I remember.
I used to be a lot of fun. I used to be very annoying when my parents had company over because I like attention.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. You know, I would go out and I would seek it, and I didn't care who these people were, but there was people in the house, and I wanted to show off whatever age I was, from basically the moment I could talk to the moment till probably 12 or 13. I was still wanting to be the center of attention with whoever came to the front door.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until like later where I matured a little bit, and maybe like 18, like recently probably started to mature a little bit, is when I could actually have decent conversations. But as a kid, man, whenever people showed up, I had to take the attention. I had to talk with them, and I had to tell them my stuff and my story and what I do and what goes on.
Yeah.
I always saw my dad getting slightly frustrated because I wouldn't let the guests talk very much. So I was seeking attention. And my dad would just like, oh man, I was such a little shithead.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I loved it.
Do you guys remember the house you grew up in very well? Or,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I moved out.
Lived there right till the
ours
last
when I
couple
was
years.
11. So, like, I was thinking back, and like I remember bits and pieces of it, but it's amazing how much you forget. Like,
Mhm.
in reality, it's not that long ago, but it's half my life ago. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that is a long.
No, I've lived in the same house like pretty much right since I was 1 years old till I was 21. Yeah, till I was 21, I lived in that same house.
Oh well.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool living in one house for that long because as you grow up, you still remember like things that happened when you were really young,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't feel like that long ago.
Because you're in the
Compared to
same
the-
place.
Exactly, yeah. But now that I've moved out,
Memories.
I still have dreams that I live there sometimes.
Really?
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, the house like the first house I remember living in, my family was there till I was like 8-ish, around there. And then we lived in Redding, California for 2 years, and I remember that house. And then we moved back to Canada, moved back in with my granny and granddad, and lived there in their house for a while my dad was building us another house. Getting work back going again, getting his company started, and then we got a house in Coaldale. Then we lived in that one till I think I was 16. So from basically age 10 to 16, when I was in a Coaldale house, and then from then on, it was a house in Lethbridge.
Mm-hmm.
So the one I grew up in, though, because there was that like 8 to 10 range when you really start to have a bunch of memories, was in a different country. And then the rest of my childhood was living with my granny and granddad in their house. So
Yeah. How long were you in Reading for?
2 years.
Oh, okay.
My dad was going to school there, and it's for the third, or maybe, 2 and a bit, kind of how it worked out. It's like from 8 to 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always kind of weird looking back at your life, I guess. You just see how much you change from year to year. It actually kind of scares you.
Wow.
It's like,
Yeah.
no, like me as a kid, like honestly the most innocent, like sweetest kid you've ever met in your life. Like everybody loved me. Like I had a really high pitched voice. Like I was just like a little boy, right? And like I would sing songs to people on, just an angel, man. Like you have no idea. Like everybody loved me. And then like puberty hit like a freight train, and just boom, and all of a sudden I was just angry all the time and just mad at everybody and everything, and I just wanted to torch everybody. Like I mean angry to the point where my mom was like going, like everybody that I know knows this, because my mom told him, because she's like, I don't know what to do, he's just so angry all the time. It's like, yeah, well, that would just be a lot of hormones and a lot of confusion as to what's going on in this world. But then how that changes you all of a sudden, like,
Yeah.
and then how you change from there, like who you were there is kind of an awkward, unreliable teenager who doesn't really know, who's just trying to, I guess, please everybody else. And, you try to mold to people around you because you really don't know what your identity is, right? Like, so you try people that you think are cooler than you try to be like them, and you try to be like them a lot. And I think I was pretty good at it, which might have been a problem. But then as you grow up and, you work for a while, and the kind of the confidence that gets you, and how that changes you, and how you know, like, and then different friends you hang out with, and then how that shapes you, and then going to college and the different perspectives and how that shapes you, and then traveling, and then like every year, like even looking back, like last year, it's just like, oh, wow,
Yeah.
I'm a different
Wow.
person.
Yeah,
Even like a
totally.
month ago, it's like, oh no,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
a different person.
2 days ago.
But then you feel like you meet some people that just never change. Like for the past 10 years, they've just done the same thing. And they're
Yeah,
like the
same
person,
shit
and
day
it's
in,
like-
day out.
And I'm not saying
Those
there's
people I
anything
get annoyed with.
wrong
They're
with that.
boring.
I just couldn't do it. Maybe that's it. Like some people are just a little more regulated. When you're like
Yeah.
crazy and you keep pushing the limits, then you have to change.
I think the people that can be like kind of regulated, kind of stay in that same kind of mellow area, or like parents should probably be around there. But grandparents, they can go up, down, left, right. Who cares? They
Yeah,
can change whatever.
Because
But
you're right. Like
grandparents, change, but
if I was
Parents,
a
I
parent
think-
and changing this much, it would be hard.
could you imagine? My parents already had a kid, and they were like 22, 23.
Yeah.
Because you imagine, I mean, I'd have a kid like within the next 12 months.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, my dad.
It's like I'm still doing some crazy stuff, man. I mean,
I'm not ready for
Like,
that.
I have-
Dedication.
No.
still rocking the boat.
Like my dad didn't get married till he was like 25, so at least I don't feel like I have to
Yeah.
keep up to.
Well, it's just starting to
everything.
get to the point because I have 2 older siblings too, right? So
Yeah.
it's just starting to get to the point where my parents are just kind of wanting grandchild.
Are any of your
and
siblings
also my-
married?
No, none of my siblings are married. None of them are even dating.
No.
And my little sister is moving out of the house really soon.
I'd laugh my
So-
ass off if you were the first one to get married and have a kid.
It's highly likely, man. It's highly likely. I'm very good at making lifelong decisions on a whim.
Yeah.
All my tattoos are on a whim. A lot of my career choices are kind of on a whim.
Yeah.
I decided I was going to get my real estate license, and then 2 days later, signed up on my real estate license. I decided to work for HiCams. I met Josh Thursday, called him Friday, said, okay, put in my 2-week notice for roofing the same day. Like, I make a lot of life decisions.
But those are the
On a
best
whim.
ones. Like,
Oh, those are the best ones. Buying a house, that was enough to, like,
yeah,
out of the
like
window.
most of
I
mine too.
decided-
Most of the best decisions in my life that I made pissed a lot of people off, and were on a whim. Well, not a whim, but it was like spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Like, I think I don't use on a whim because it sounds like, oh, I whimsically picked this. It's like, no, I knew I wanted to do it. I just did it really quick, right?
Yeah, just drastically chose it.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, it's
I would love to have it. Like, I would love to get married and have a kid before my older brother and my older sister. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah. I once did. Did.
Wait, are none
Thing
of
is,
your
I-
siblings married either, Josh?
What?
Are none of your siblings?
three of my older sisters are.
Oh, okay.
It's just my
Yeah.
Like I have 4 older sisters. One of them's not married, and then my older brother's not married.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I have like 12 nieces and nephews right
Yeah.
now. Like that's a lot. I don't even.
Yeah.
Got a big family
I don't
going
even
already.
remember their names, man. Like I was just like, oh hey, another one, cool. And there's 2 more on the way. Yeah,
No.
Oh, man,
jeepers, man.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
thank you.
Yeah, my brother's getting married in February. He's only 18. Well, he's going to be 19 then.
Is he the first one?
He's the first one.
That's
Then
cool.
there's one older than him, and then I'm the oldest. So
You're just
Whoa.
falling behind here.
I wouldn't say that. I'm just saying I'm taking my time. I'm not going to get. Who wants to get married at 19?
You gotta
Other-
see everything in the refrigerator before picking.
Exactly.
And try over there.
Settle down that quick. You haven't even really lived yet. Like,
Yeah.
thinking back to me when I was 18, 19, like I'm
Oh,
way
man.
different. Was that?
The amount of more shit you have done from ages 19 and 20 or 21 to 20 is triple or quadruple the amount or times the shit that you did when you were just 18 to 19.
Yeah.
18 to 19, you start doing some crazier shit. But then, like 19 to 20, you got really a lot of confidence in that crazy shit.
Yeah,
and then from
you're
like
just like,
20
I
to
own
21,
this.
you're just trying to push that boundaries because you're like, I just still want to keep on living on the edge. Let's see what else.
And then
this shit can
21,
do.
you're just like, life has no meaning to me anymore. I do what I want. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I don't give a fuck. Now I'm gonna see what 22
It's
is.
like
So
I've
that's-
I've proved everything I need to prove, Now I'm just here. Do
Yeah,
me.
prove I'm a crazy person, a wild animal. I can party. I can do this, that, the other thing. I've done that. I've showed up a lot of people. Like I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I've done it. Been there,
Yeah, I
done
guess
that.
because it's funny when you're 18 or probably even when you're 21. Like us, like you think, oh, like yeah, well, just because I'm 18 doesn't like I know everything. Like nah, it
Yeah.
doesn't change that much.
Yeah.
And then I'm like looking back at me at 18 compared to now. I'm just like, who's that guy? Like who's that guy? I don't even know. Okay. But Ashton,
dude.
you're 23, right?
Yeah,
So how old would you have been when I first met you? 20?
21.
21?
You're 18.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, 21 because
thing.
Josh, me and you know each other. We've been close friends for we started hanging out more about 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and like it was a year after that, Ashton showed up and actually started to hang out with us a little bit more, and it wasn't just a guy showing up at a party.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've seen you. I don't think I met you, Scotty, until I moved to. Until I moved back from working back in Grand Prairie, because I lived down south originally where I first met you, and then I moved back up north for that summer, and then it was not till later that next winter that I actually met you the first time, or that.
Yeah, but that was it's still been 2 years since then.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure it has.
Yeah. And would you say, as a seasoned, you got a good 2 years on us. So
Yeah,
what's life like up there? You know.
yeah.
What did you learn from?
What is
21,
to be expected for the
23.
year of 22? The age of 22.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm confused. Okay, you guys are asking me what I.
But
What's it like to be old?
Oh, it's great. Oh, you mean like that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. like looking back from 21 to 23 right now, like there's lots of different mindsets and changes that have happened in your life. Like you never stay. It seems like depends on your personality, but you never stay the same person for too long of a period of time, right?
I
see
never
something
do
like
for more than a
37 or
week,
34.
Yeah.
Once
Sorry?
you hit like 37 or like 34, something like that, in the later 30s or something, that's when you start to like fully kind of just flatline of who you are. That's what you're at.
man.
Because then you kind of
Like, well, I guess if you're a crazy person, you're way up here, whatever. Or if you basically stuff like if you're liberal, you're gonna stay liberal for the rest of your life. If you're conservative at 34, you're gonna stay conservative for the rest of your life. Like
Did
if
you
you,
just pull that number out of your ass, or is that like a thing?
I don't know. I think that's kind of out of my ass. Like I just
Yeah.
when I heard it at stand-up comedy, a lot of my wisdom is taken from like comedians. That's why
Coming from the
life is
best.
just a fucking
So
joke. anyways.
when you want to go figure out life and you need just a lot of good dose of wisdom, what do you do?
Oh.
Well, stand-up comedy.
Stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Realize
much it.
life's
Yeah.
just one big fucking joke and it doesn't matter anyways. Have fun with it. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true.
No, I hear you, man.
It puts
I hear
everything
you,
in
but like,
perspective. You're like a conservative comedian making jokes about liberals, and then you hear a liberal comedian making jokes about conservatives. You realize motherfuckers are stupid. You're extremists on
Yeah.
either end, just trying to argue your own point because you think you're right because you looked at your own damn facts, and you think they're wrong because you looked at all lies on them. You just realize a lot of people are really stupid in the world, and it doesn't really matter where you get any wisdom as long as you just be a decent human being, just be happy, right?
yeah,
Just don't be an ass.
don't be an ass.
I think the main thing to being happy is not caring for the most part. Like obviously caring about your life. but-
Don't care about people that don't matter.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So I don't
Which
care
is all
about people
people.
starving in Africa. That is not my people. I don't know them. I've seen them in my life. I don't care about people dying in New York City, homeless people on the street. I don't know them. They don't know me. Not my problem. But you're my homies, my boys, my family. I'm gonna care about those people.
And if you do make bad decisions, don't beat yourself up for it
That's
either.
the
Like
biggest thing. Like shame and guilt is just poison, and there's no place in it.
Oh, it is.
No matter what you do. Like if you realize you messed up, start working through it. There's no need.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very dangerous thing to have. Like there's difference
Little-
between shame, humility, or or conviction and stuff like that. Like shame is how it's described. Having shame for something is basically saying you're a terrible person and you can never change.
Yeah.
And then if you have shame, you don't fix a problem.
Yeah,
You just
and it tears you
just
up.
out, and it tears you up inside and it destroys you. But if you have humility, you admit to your problems and you admit to that stuff, and then once it's out in the open, you can decide if it really bugs you that much, or if it's just people around you that it bugs or offends, and then you feel bad for those people or whatever, just because your self-esteem's so low, you feel like everyone around you has to love you, and you have to make sure everyone around you likes you.
And that is the most stressful thing, because no two people are going to agree with certain things.
Yeah,
Some people are going to say you got to be like this, and other people are going to be like that. And depending on who you're. Then you're constantly depressed because you're like, I'm not how these people want me to be, and then you go be with the next people, and you're like, oh, I'm not how they.
Well, and I used to be like that a lot, like tried to keep everybody happy, and you were never had an authentic version of yourself, right?
Exactly.
Like if I could go back and tell my younger self, I'd just be like, you know what, just own it, be who you are, and all these many bitches can just suck at me because it doesn't matter.
That's really the biggest change I noticed.
People like you more if you're yourself than anything else. If you're just authentically you, and if they don't, screw them. You don't need them anyway, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's just
exactly. And the more you learn to do that, the more you find like who yourself is. The more you find out what personality you have yourself. Like, because you can almost get mixed up and not know what kind of person you are if you're constantly trying to change depending on the people you hang out with.
Yeah, for sure.
I've had it where I've been like, oh, it seems like I got split personalities. Well, it's because I was constantly like kind of worried about what these people thought, and kind of like, oh, I shouldn't do this and all that stuff. It's once you actually stop caring and you're just like, I'm gonna focus on me and what I want to be like.
I think like shame, guilt tears you apart, and a part of that is being hypocritical, and I think that tears you apart too, and it just makes you look bad. Like I've always said, like I guess even in a religious setting, like you're better off doing bad things and owning it, and people will respect you more than if you do bad things and cover up and pretend like you're a really good person, right? Like I've always just owned it, and I know people have always kind of respected me for that, because it was like, I did that. What about it? Like, I'm trying to work on it, or whatever it was, right? Not indifference, but it's more just, instead of being like, what? No, what? I'm perfect. Like, you know what I mean? And people have a lot more respect for that, and that's one thing I realized is people respect authenticity, like a lot more than you'd think. Like, I think most reasonable people anyway. Who cares about the other ones? But it's just, like, don't lie to yourself or to anyone else. Right?
Yeah. What do you think is more dangerous, lying to yourself or lying to the people around you?
Well, both are pretty.
Well, if you're lying to yourself, then you're gonna be lying to the people around you.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I think when you're lying to yourself, though, you're hiding a problem and shoving it under the rug. But when you're lying to people, is you're knowing. You know what the issue is. You know where the problem is, and now you have to put on this fake face and have something in the back of your head always telling you that you're lying or whatever. And I think those people are gonna have the most problems. The ones that know that they're lying to somebody's face. The ones that just lie to themselves and just say stuff like, "No, I'm happy," but in actuality they're depressed. But they just keep on telling themselves, "No, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy." That's in one way can be some way of like almost coping for them. But when you're
productive, actually, that's kind of a lot of the ways how you get out of
depends on the lie, or
you know what, if you feel down all of a sudden, like if you all of a sudden, I've done it where you kind of don't feel 100%, you literally just start smiling, start smiling, and you will actually, your mood will pick up.
If you force yourself to smile for like 5 minutes, it improves your mood.
And
you know what else, they also proved it that if you eat a burrito or a McDouble or something like that happy and enjoying it and having like really happy to eat it and all excited, you will burn just as many calories and it'll be just as healthy for you as if you eat like a salad but you're angry and upset and depressed at the salad, because when you're happy your brain is able to allow chemicals to be released in your body and do a little bit better digestion and everything like that.
It's amazing.
So what a lot of diets is basically, if you a huge part of dieting is fully believe that whatever you're eating is going to be good for you and you're going to be able to succeed and be happy and whatever. And to like a certain extent, I guess, like if you can just,
you can't live off of ice cream and be happy about it.
But there's for instance, for Ashton, like you don't eat garbage 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But on weekends, when you drink a lot of beer or you have a lot of burgers, and yet you still stay in the exact same weight, if you start to eat McDonald's because you're upset and angry and you just need your comfort food because you feel sad, and you need your beer because you feel sad, you're gonna get fat as fuck.
True.
Yeah, I never eat food
I think that
when I'm sad. I just don't eat then. Maybe it's a good
Well, I think
that's my secret to weight loss. Be depressed and then don't eat when you
when you're depressed, so just don't eat. My secret is just on
Don't
the
eat.
weekends.
Be depressed. Don't eat.
beer.
Don't drink. Don't move. Stare at the ceiling and smile.
Eat one meal a day. The rest can be a liquid diet, such as.
Oh man.
Oh dear.
I thought you
Oh,
put that shit
no.
on silence.
Stop it.
Stop
Stop
commenting.
I'm busy over here.
I'm important.
Oh, okay. I got a funny thing about phone calls. One time back at home, I had a cousin who moved down to the Crete where I was from, and then he came to a youth group with me, and he was from Grand Prairie, and he had a ringtone on his phone, and it was not a nice song. I forget what it was. It might have been like Hollywood Undead or something like that.
Oh
It
yeah.
was his ringtone. And we were sitting in church, or we were sitting in the youth group, and all of a sudden they was like, "Okay, let's pray." And so we kind of started praying, and all of a sudden, Buddy's phone was like, "Undead!" Just starts going off, and then the funny thing is, he plays it off. He's like, "Oh, that's me." Puts it back in his pocket, just like bows his head again, like all innocent. I'm like, I couldn't stop laughing. Like I was like, the whole time I was just like, because I couldn't believe it. It's just still hilarious, man.
My buddy, he had an app, so he had a bunch of different kind of ringtones that he could use,
Yeah.
and one of them was like sex noises that women would make, a woman's moaning kind of thing. And I convinced him that he should make that my ringtone just so I could bug him, and it worked. Like a week later, I called him when he was having like family dinner with his girlfriend's parents, and I called him. And, like, he didn't pick up for some reason. Just rang a couple times, then hung up. And he called me, like, an hour later. He's like, that was not okay. I'm changing your fucking ringtone. That was not okay. I was just like, yay! It fucking worked.
Okay, so
Yes!
so back in the day, there's people like sending around these texts, like you opened it up and it was like a little video, and then it just had some chick like screaming in the background, like she was getting railed or whatever. And one of my cousins sent him to a whole bunch of my other cousins and buddies and stuff when they were in church. So he just
Oh, no.
and they didn't know, right? So it's just
Oh, that is not good. That is not good at all.
That is bad. That is embarrassing.
Another thing that they did, they would just choke each other out in church. I still remember this. It scared the shit out of me because I was so worried they were going to do it to me. But they just thought it'd be funny to like run up to a buddy and just and choke them until they passed out. And then they'd stroke out on the floor. And they just thought it was freaking hilarious. And they'd do this to each other. They'd run up and like two guys would grab you and just choke you the F out. Like right in the church foyer.
Oh, are these guys psychopaths? Probably a little bit, maybe.
They did it. I swear they did it. I'm not joking. I seen it. They just drop and flop. Like,
Dude, that is so unhealthy for your
I
brain.
know, and that's what everyone was telling them, and that's why I was so worried they were gonna do it to me. I'm like, no, I don't want to lose brain cells. Like, are you kidding me?
And they would just laugh about it or whatever and keep doing it?
Yeah, yeah. They thought
These
it was
kids.
hilarious. No, they were probably like 17, 18 at the time. Yeah,
Gotcha, probably.
yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Man, I thought Mennonites were bad.
Just stupid. Yeah, they always
Crazy.
had all their street bikes parked in front of the church. And I remember hearing all badass stories about them running from the cops and stuff. Because
Oh,
they
my
knew
goodness.
all like the walking paths and stuff in Lethbridge. Like where you go down a cul-de-sac and it's a dead end, but there's a walking path on the way out. So they would, if they ever had cops after them, they'd go to these locations and then just rip down the walking path, and then the cops screwed because they have to go all the way around, and by then the bike's long gone, right? Because they just nail it, like just go ripping through, and then they'd always ditch them like that. Just
Oh, man.
crazy, man.
Part of me wants to get a crotch rocket just so I can do that.
Yeah, yeah. You know
Right.
what?
Like,
Like,
get really good and get really good at riding it too.
yeah.
Ooh.
Like, I feel like I've done some crazy stuff, but not in the same way like those guys did, man. Those guys were
Right.
nuts. Like, they'd go wheeling down the highway on their dirt bikes all the time, like, just running from cops, like, all the
Like
time.
nuts to the point of
Like,
being able to get a criminal record pretty quick. Nuts.
yeah, but they never did.
That's
Never
crazy.
did. Never got caught. Pretty damn.
I have a buddy from back home. He would always run from the cops all the time. One time the cop showed up at his place and he's like, "I know it's you. I know it's your truck."
Yeah.
He's like, "Just stop. Stop outrunning me. Like sooner or later I'm gonna catch you. It's gonna be worse if you don't. If
Yeah.
you keep on doing that." And he's like, "Yes, sir."
Like,
he
you
was-
outrun the cop in his truck?
The cop came to his house where he lived, knocked on
No,
the
but
door, and
was
then
he
he answered
outrun,
the
yeah,
door.
was he outrunning the cop with a truck or a crotch rocket?
Truck.
Oh, wow.
Always, there was lots of guys back home that always used to do it with trucks. Yeah, it was, yeah. But it was easy back there too because the cops are not from around town that much, and then all these like little trails and going over fields. The cops aren't going to rip over a field with their cars.
They don't know the roads that well.
No, exactly.
No,
But like,
I heard so many stories of people running from the cops. Like, just. I mean, I think it's because a lot of them were driving without their license and stuff like that. So it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, you
Yeah,
don't
or just-
stop. Like, you
or just drunk, and it's either
Oh,
getting
yeah.
impaired or outrun them. Lose your
Yeah,
driving
that's
street.
even worse because then you're just.
That is worse.
really a mess. But no, this was just young kids. Like, I mean, like 14, 15.
All like that.
Like, didn't have
Yeah.
their license yet. So they running from the cops and, like, just. Oh, yeah, man. Like, this is some crazy shit. I've never ran from the cops. I've been really lucky, though, because I've sped and done a lot of crazy shit in a vehicle, and I've got very few tickets. Like,
Yeah.
I like, my driving is calmed down now. Like, I don't really drive aggressively. Every time I kind of get that feeling, like, I just want to rip, but
Yeah.
I don't. Like,
Man, I as well. Like my driving, I used to drive really crazy back in the day,
Yeah.
and it seems like, especially this last couple of years, my driving has just like calmed
same.
down so much.
Same with me. Like, I drove like an absolute maniac when I was younger, man. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like, just stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Like could have died at any time that I went and took my vehicle out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
There's so
yeah, I
many
got
times-
like 3 tickets in 1 year, or in the span of like 4 or 5 months or something like that.
See, I've never got
and-
busted.
Yeah, no, but then after that, I've been driving like a granny ever since.
Yeah, tickets
Hey, guys.
suck. You
Oh, yeah.
know some of those people that just get them over and over, and they're always like a couple demerits away from losing their license, and it's like that's gotta suck. Like, I think right now I might have. I don't even think I have any demerits on my record right now, because I had -2 because I did a course, a defensive driving course through work,
Mhm.
and then they gave
Yeah.
you like they actually gave you like credits for your demerits. They're like, oh well, you have 2 extra. So, and then I got a ticket after that, but I don't even know if
I got-
like it was a really low speeding ticket. I don't even know what I had, but I mean,
I've
if you
gotten
get
one speeding ticket.
distracted driving or stop, like I got a stoplight ticket once, and that's 4 right there, and like $400 too. Like, ouch! Like, man alive. Like,
That's a lot of
and
money.
they jumped
That's an
it all
expensive
up
stoplight.
too. Like, tickets are expensive, man. Like,
Yeah, they jumped it up like 30-something cents or some shit
yeah.
in the last like 2 years or something.
Yeah, but like I hardly ever speed. Like I'll constantly go 10, 15 over, but never anything more than that.
Yeah. On a highway, yeah. If it's on like in through the town or whatever, then it's like 5. It depends. If it's like a 70 road, I'll go 80. If it's an 80 road, I'll go 90. If it's a 50 road, I'll go 55. If it's a 60 road, I'll go 65.
Yeah, see, if it's a 50-year-old, I'll go 65. If not
Oh, yeah.
70. You never get pulled over in town like you do on the highway.
That's true.
Oh, it
I
depends
just
on the
don't feel
road
the
and
need,
how
right?
tight it is.
Yeah, well, in Lethbridge, there's a lot of those roads that are like 60, but there's cops everywhere, like Mayo McGrath or something like that, right? So you kind of, but when I'm in town, it's like it's just 3 blocks. I can go the speed limit for 3 blocks. Don't piss off any neighbors or anything like
Yeah,
that.
come ripping down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I hear you. No, it's
Mhm.
it's interesting because as a kid, when you're 16, you're like you hear people talking about them putting the driving age up, and you're like, that's such effing bullshit. Like they can't do that. Like we need our freedom. Like how am I supposed to get
Yeah.
to work and like yada yada yada. And then now it's like, yeah, I could kind of understand that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think
Well,
I would
there's so many
push for it
kids
just because I remember being 16 enough to know, and I think it
Yeah.
holds back the economy, and it kind of. I think they'll probably just
Yeah.
be crazy when they're 18 instead of
Exactly.
when they're 16. So
Yeah.
I don't
Sure.
think there's
Just
really
last summer.
a difference there. But like now, it's like, yeah, I was pretty damn crazy when I was 16. Maybe I shouldn't have been driving.
Shouldn't
But,
have,
you know,
yeah.
whatever.
Well,
Made it.
I think, but a lot of like teenagers aren't getting their license right at 16.
No, I know it's weird, man.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Like,
Like, so many people wait till they're 16 to get their learners, and then have to wait
Yeah.
a year until. And some people have their learners, but they just never gone for their drivers. Like, I don't know how people do.
I don't get it. Like, I got my learners on my birthday and my drivers on my birthday.
Yeah, same.
Right.
But like, cause yeah, someone like doesn't get it. Like you're 18 or 17, you don't have your license yet. Like you're behind.
Yeah.
You can't get a job the same way because like there's no public transport worth talking about around here. Like you're screwed. And
Oh yeah.
like for me, it was like a rite of passage, man. Like you get your license and like you're a man type of thing. Not quite,
Or,
but like
For me, it's like
Freedom.
It's not if you're 16 and you don't have your driver's license, what the hell's wrong with you?
yeah, you're.
I feel like it's kind of like a symbol of freedom, right?
It
Like
is.
once you get your
Yeah.
driver's license.
Well, it's
I don't
not
know,
a
when I was
symbol- it's
16,
not
I
a
wanted to be able to
symbol.
get a
It
job.
is freedom, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I wanted
right.
to get a job at 16, right? One where I could, drive to work. I could get an actual full-time gig or something like that. Or I
Yeah.
didn't have to work a few blocks from town or a few blocks from my house where I could work wherever I wanted, right? So I had to get it really quick.
Like I got my first vehicle and it was all mine, and I paid for the insurance, paid for the vehicle and everything. So for the first time in my life, I could just leave if I wanted to. Like if my parents
Yeah.
gave me shit or whatever, I'd be like, see ya. Like it wasn't theirs to take away type of thing, right? And I know some of
Yeah,
my
exactly.
parents' buddies did that, like took away their vehicle that they actually owned. And I was like,
Yeah.
nah. My
No.
parents did that. I would just leave.
I'd find another
you
way.
ain't- You ain't taking my vehicle. No, I worked my ass off for years for this.
Yeah.
And this is how it's gonna be.
Touchy.
No, I don't
No,
think
no
so.
touchy, no touchy.
No deal.
No, see you guys later. I'll sleep in the gutter.
Yeah.
I'll sleep
That
in
was
my
different for me
car.
because my dad helped me with my first vehicle. He let me own it already, and then I just kept paying him for I think it was about a year. And then I had the thing paid off. It was an older vehicle, but so for that year it was more rule based, how much I
Yep.
owned and stuff like that.
Yeah, we had a family vehicle we could drive for like a year or two before we had to get our own.
Yeah.
Just because like my parents bought a cheap Pontiac Sunfire, and just my older sister got to drive it for a couple years, and my older brother turned 16, and then he got to drive it for a couple years, and then I turned 16. Then I got to drive it for a couple years, and then my little sister turned 16, and then she got to drive it.
did the same thing for my older sisters, but I think it was gone when I was that age. I don't know. I didn't want it anyway. I was like, I'm not gonna drive that piece of shit. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm better
Yeah.
than this.
I wasn't like I wish I was so much better with money when I was younger. I could have been so much well off. I could have been well off. Forget like oh man, just a couple little decisions that could have saved me a lot of money.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and even the fact that that was 7 years ago. Oh, like you save $5,000 then, and if you could have invested or something, you'd make a lot of money by now. Like it makes a big difference there, right? Like,
Oh, look who doesn't have their phone on silent now, boy.
I didn't know anyone would call me. I didn't think anyone cared.
Anyways,
it's
I
coming
think we
on
should call
5
it a day.
o'clock, Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
call it a day.
Call
Eat
it
some
a
din din.
Yeah.
I gotta eat
Get
some
some
stuff.
sin sin.